Get ready for this.
It will be cool.
We just hit 13,000.
All right, guys, we are live. Hello, everybody. My name is Mav, as you know, and I am excited to welcome some amazing guests today for the 20th episode of Xbox Ultimate Podcast. And again, we are live with 3-Bit, Lupa, Wilmy, and my beautiful wife, Caitlin. We'll go to some intros here and let everybody say hello. So I'll start with the man, the myth, the legend. The person who invited me to be on his podcast was the first one as ever a guest on. So I appreciate that very much, sir. Hello, WilmyHood.
Man, you're talking me up. Man, myth, and legend. Shit, dude. This is episode number 20, right?
Yes, sir.
After tonight, there will be no 21. I guarantee you people will start canceling you after tonight. But I appreciate being here. I'm getting some caffeine pumped into me now through my veins, so we should have an entertaining show.
Yes, sir. And then we have everybody's favorite wolf. Everybody loves playing with this a nice lady from overseas. And great community member, shows a lot of support. AssassinLupa. Hey, Lupa, how are you?
Hey, Mav, I'm doing fine. Thank you very much for you and Caitlin asking me to be on. Let's have some good sentence discussions.
And
if he's the man, the myth, the legend, then I'm the woman, the myth, the queen.
absolutely. Are you still riding that big wolf in Assassin's Creed?
I sure am.
That did not even sound right.
No, it didn't.
maybe it was right.
That was the point.
And last but not least, well, not last. I still have two more people.
Oh my God, I'm out.
Intro. But next, making his third appearance on the Xbox Ultimate Podcast. Like I told him, I'm just going to keep inviting him until he is just a regular panel member without him even realizing it. We have the talented 3-Bit. How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. I want to play some games tonight if I can. I've been working all day, so I'm excited to some games and stuff. It's gonna be a good podcast, and you're right. I'm like slowly migrating to this podcast. I'm like morphing in.
Yeah, we like having you on. Good. That's why I keep asking you, man. And okay, last but not least in my heart, as everybody knows. I'll say that every week until you get really sick of it.
You already screwed up, dude. You should have introduced her first. You're married to her,
right? I agree.
She deserves the most attention, so she gets the last one because that way I can keep it going longer. Right?
Okay.
Nice.
And
it's
Caitlin. Caitlin, hello, Caitlin. I never call her Caitlin in the house. She hates that. So, but here is Caitlin.
Calls me when we're fighting.
Yeah. Which is it's never. We never fight. No, never, right?
I mean, yeah, let's go with that.
All right, guys. So, wow.
Hi, guys, by the way.
Huh?
I'm just saying hi.
Oh, to the chat?
Say hi.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, hi, chat, also. Everybody in the chat, hello. Thank you for being here. It has been a crazy 2 days or so for video game news, and beyond that, even like I know Wilmy's favorite company, Disney, had an event yesterday where they announced a ton of stuff. But wow, yesterday was kind of a cool day for video games because we had maybe the game that was most anticipated over the last couple years. Oh, there's Wilmy. And also, we had the Game Awards, which a lot of people said they weren't going to be tuning into. But I think if you did tune into it, maybe you were pleasantly surprised or had a good time. So we're going to be talking about all of that and also some other things that we found out the day before. But before we get started with the regular topics, every week we have the fun speculation of the week. And this week we have what ended the Game Awards, where BioWare, EA, they had this little trailer at the end, you know, to end the show with a bang. I'm kind of a little weary on what they showed us because I don't think it gives us too much information, but I want more information. That's why we're going to speculate on it right now. Mass Effect, the trailer at the end of the Game Awards. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it leads you to think what could be, what's going to become of this franchise now. What do they mean by that trailer? Like, when is this game even going to come out? What's going on? So we will start with the guest who's making his first appearance on this show, Mr. WilmyHood.
Oh, dude, you're asking the wrong person because I could care less. I really could. I tried. I tried the first two. Never cared for it.
Mass Effect's not your game?
Wow.
Not at all.
Hey, I've talked to people that are like that. That's okay. There's no shame. There's no shame in that. Maybe a little bit.
I mean, it was just too dialogue heavy for me, dude. I just couldn't get into
So
it.
is that it is like too much talking and stuff, not enough action?
Yeah, pretty much.
What do you
Well,
think?
I mean, dude, I'm getting older, man. I gotta, get in all the action and the gameplay now.
Yeah.
I mean, I can do dialogue when I'm dead.
I've noticed as I gotten older, I skip more of the dialogue. You know, I just keep hitting the A button, and I'm like, I kind of get probably what's going on here, right?
Yeah, I've been doing it all day through Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Just speeding up the conversation. I don't even know what half these people are saying to me. So I just want to get through it and get to what I'm got to do.
Do you
They can
think?
talk later.
Do you think that BioWare is okay? I mean, do you think there's anything to worry about there?
They made Anthem, dude. No, they're not okay. I mean, but then again, too, man, a lot of people hold on to shit now.
Yeah.
And a lot of these companies aren't the same companies they were, years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, my son is in the industry. People change jobs. They change jobs quick. People jump from one studio to another. Yeah. I mean, whoever's offering these guys the most money, that's where they're going to go. It's not about loyalty.
Yeah.
They don't care. They're looking for money. So my son is coming back from Florida. I think in February, he's taking another job here in North Carolina working for Epic. So, and I'm not going to tell you who he's working for now because, a lot of people don't like the company. But he jumped from here to there to begin with. So now he's coming back. But
Right.
I mean, there's always people changing. And I just don't think BioWare is the same company that everybody grew to love.
Yeah. Well, we know once the doctors left, right, the two founders, that it was going to be different. Whenever you have the high ups, the guys that started it, then it can't be the same because the vision will change based on whoever is actually in charge. What do you think about Mass Effect 3-bit, and where do you think they may be going? Are you a Mass Effect fan? Have I struck out on this category?
I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Mass Effect, but I always love the games.
Yeah.
To me, a fan is someone who like on Halo, where I research the books, I research the lore and all that stuff. It's crazy different because I love dialogue in games.
Yeah.
Like I am the person that maybe it's because I love writing stories and I try to like be sort of inspired by that, if that makes sense.
Right.
But yeah, I love dialogue in games. I'm the person that gets mad if someone skips something
Yeah.
in a game. But with
You
this
don't watch my
announcement,
streams then, man. Don't watch my streams. It's I literally just
this is-
skipping every little piece of dialogue I can. I think.
everything. Man. Yeah, with this announcement, kind of what Wilmy was saying, it's not the same BioWare. That happens. I don't think Sony is the same Sony. A lot of the people
No, they're not.
that was in Sony are, yeah, they're not there anymore. And I think we're gonna start to see the effects of that for sure. I think we're already starting to see some of the effects of that with Sony. But the same thing with BioWare. Anthem was sort of it wasn't just Anthem, it was also Anthem and also Mass Effect Andromeda. So I think as long as they have talented people at that studio, not just talented, but people who actually care, people at the top who actually really care about the Mass Effect franchise, it might turn out the same. But for the people at the top, if they're really passionate about the project, and if that is shown through the game, not just for cash or just doing it to because it's such a well-known title, then it has the potential to be great. Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I love the one thing I love about Mass Effect is it's sort of a mix of sci-fi. It kind of has like the choice of dialogue in the game, sort of like something like Life is Strange, but at the
Right.
same time, not really.
You feel like your
Or,
choices matter, right?
Yeah, it does feel like my choices actually matter in Mass Effect, and it's just so huge and it's expansive. And Wilmy, if you didn't like the first two, then you might like the third one, because that one is very compared to the first two.
Or Andromeda. The Andromeda, like, also like is really lacking in the all the stuff that made the first two great.
The only bad part, my backlog is so huge now with everything coming out, I will never get around to it.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, I have a huge backlog too, but Mass Effect did something that was pretty unique to me, with how they balanced dialogue and maintaining your crew in a way, and also going to different planets. So I really enjoyed it. So I hope they bring the essence of what I liked about it back.
Right on, man. What about you, Lupa? Do you think they're gonna like kind of bring it back to the original style, or do you think that this game is anything to be excited for with what's been going on with BioWare the last few years?
From what I've seen of that little clip, it looked to me like the way they end a movie they haven't got a title for. They speak about a movie they haven't got a title for because it's only in the making, not made. So it looked to me like it might be an online game.
That's
Just from
interesting.
the look of the trailer.
Just a whole new take on it. Just go full on games of
Yeah.
service style, right?
Yeah.
Because that worked so well for the
I hope
Avengers.
not.
Yeah.
Well, here's the
I mean,
thing.
From
I
the
hope they
clip,
don't do
it's
that.
what I got. Like when they said, "Oh, James Bond will be back," it said Mass Effect will be back. So you know there's going to be another one.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's going to be. It hasn't got a title yet.
Because they just said like
And I'm
Mass
not
Effect.
fussed either.
It's a Mass Effect will continue or something, right?
Yeah. Hope
So-
not. I hope you're wrong, Lupa.
I I'm wrong too for the people that love it, but I'm just not. It's not really something I'm into, so I wasn't overly excited about it.
Yeah, I
See,
kind of
don't let
the
Lupa
same
fool
boat.
you. She plays gear. She loves chainsawing people and shooting them with shotguns.
Yeah, she does. I've seen it. I've witnessed it firsthand. And she'll steal your treasure in Sea of Thieves.
Yeah,
Oh God, I forgot you played that.
She knows all the hiding places.
Yeah, I was playing with not that long ago. It was a pretty fun game. I just started playing it.
You got to have a crew,
with
man.
you, Mav, and crew. All right, and that game is not as fun with just yourself. Of course,
No.
you need a crew.
I would never played it once. When it first came out, I played it once for about 10 minutes on my own. And I thought, nah, never went back to it for years. Then I went back to it with a crew, and it's really great fun.
Yeah.
If you have that crew, you can have you can melt hours in that game. They just disappear,
you can.
right? So as far as Mass Effect for me, it's like I wanted to be excited. I was going crazy when I saw that it was, N7, right? And I was like, okay, what is this? It's Mass Effect. Holy crap! We were speculating. We thought it was like Starfield. We thought it was all these different games. And then when we saw the N7, it was like Mass Effect. Holy shit, right? Like this is crazy. And then Mass Effect will continue is what happened on the screen. And then I just kind of got deflated at that when those words popped up, because to me that doesn't mean anything. I of course it's going to continue. You know what I mean? What is it, a game? Like tell me, like what is this game? Like is it an actual game you're working on now? Have you even started it yet? You know what I mean? Like at least have somebody come out and say something about it, or give us a little bit of information. And that was kind of my whole take from BioWare at this whole show. Because, hey,
like, why will it continue on it? Like, what's, I don't know.
you sound like a monster 3-bit. Is anybody else hearing that, or is it just on my end?
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds like he's an alien.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, it's Discord.
Yeah. Well, I'll continue while he's going through that process here. Whoa, man.
So the aliens have landed tonight.
Yeah, Mass Effect is continuing right now, guys. They're here. I don't know which race it is. But as far as that goes, like BioWare kind of was like, hey, that's the one thing we knew was going to be at the show was Dragon Age, right? We knew Dragon Age was going to be there. We were speculating about all this other stuff. We're anticipating, we're waiting for Dragon Age. And then they dropped that generic trailer that didn't really tell us anything or show us anything noteworthy. They didn't give us any information. And this is the third time at a big event that Dragon Age has been mentioned that I can remember right now. And it's kind of like a letdown, right? What's going on with that? And then at the end, okay, well, hey, there's Mass Effect. And they do more of this stuff where it's kind of like, hey, we're making one. That I need more than that. You know what I mean?
Maybe that was a diversion from Anthem.
Do we think that Anthem 2.0 is even going to come at this point? I mean,
Who cares? Who cares at this point? Honestly,
yeah.
I mean, there'll be some people, but not that many.
I haven't heard anything about it in a long time. Has anybody on the Anthem news train that is familiar?
Is Fork still in chat? He can tell you.
Yeah, Fork Boy. I know you're a huge Anthem fan.
Oh yeah, he is.
What's going on with Anthem 2.0, right? Like, can BioWare handle Anthem 2.0, Mass Effect, and Dragon Age at the same time? Oh, I can hear you now, 3-bit. Your camera was kind of going a little wonky for a minute there too, but it's fine now.
Oh, okay. Is everything?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the question? I was trying to fix my stuff.
We were just talking about the Mass Effect and BioWare in general, how they kind of were. Dragon Age was supposed to be a big thing at the show. At least that's kind of what they're pushing for, and it kind of was a letdown.
Showing concept art of Dragon Age, and it's like, why? Like, it's cool because it hypes up the hardcore fans for Dragon Age and stuff like that. But they need to, I don't know, show a bit more. I want to see what's going on with that game. Any game that has EA on it or BioWare, if you're not Respawn, I'm looking at you funny. So
right now it's the way it seems, right? We'll see how much of an influence Vince Zampella has on the whole group. How you doing over there, babe?
I hope a lot.
You're on mute, baby, by the way.
I'm good. I was going to it and unmuting it.
Okay. Hey, I was just checking on you. So I think we're gonna wrap that one up. I started to kind of with some excitement about it a little bit, and the more we talk, I just kind of get a little depressed. So
I didn't mean to. I don't think we meant to be like negative on the topic. I think when we think about Mass Effect and when we think about like BioWare, it's like I get excited, and then I think about who's making it, and it makes me like less excited.
Yeah.
It's just like
It's kind of like Gears
like
of
I
War
can't
for
shake.
me.
Yeah.
You know, I was a huge Gears head. You know, 1, 2, and 3, and then when 4 came out, I got to the point I didn't really care. When 5 came out, I played it, deleted it. I don't know, just some games they never re-spark that initial interest.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Gears 4 and Gears 5, I mean, I think they did a good job with that franchise as far as keeping it fresh, but it's still, you know, it's not going to be Gears 1, 2, and 3. You know what I mean?
It wasn't as, I don't know, it wasn't as dark and gritty as the original. So I don't know. It's just completely different to me.
What do you think they need to move on from that franchise, or do you think what do you think they should do with it, Wilmy?
Oh, they'll keep making them. There's no doubt about it. They've got Compulsion's going to keep making them, or whatever the name of the studio is now.
Coalition.
They'll keep making them until eventually nobody plays it.
What would bring you back?
I don't really think they could now.
As a fan.
There's just there's just too much else to play. And believe it or not, over time, man, your gaming habits change. Everything you played, 10 years ago, you won't touch. You're just looking for something different to play.
Right.
I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah. That's true, man.
Like different people, like for Gears, like I have a cousin who loves Gears, and he doesn't like 4 and 5 for about the same reasons you do. Like he feels it's not as gritty and all this different stuff.
Yeah, they lost all that.
I jumped in and out of the series, so I don't really care. Like 4 and 5, they're fun for me. But it is interesting. Like the people who like love those games, they look at it from a totally different perspective. It's interesting to me.
I was playing Gears 5 multiplayer the other day, and I was pretty impressed on the Series X. I was having quite a good time.
Frames.
Yeah, I've got. Yeah, you can't see them because they're on the shelf up behind me. But I've got the signed copies from Cliffy B hanging on the wall.
Wow, is that a Lancer behind you?
Yep, nice. Got a Lancer too. That's one of them. I've got a couple, but it just, I don't know, man. It just, they completely changed it. I just miss the original. Movies are sort of the same way. I mean, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Well, anytime you have a brand new creation, and then the original creators have their vision and they create like the first 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever it is, and then you try and recreate that magic later with other people, it's really hard. Yeah, it's because you're trying to not only capture what you're making at that time, but you're trying to capture the feeling people had at a moment in time that's past now, right? It's a different era. It's when did Gears of War come out? The original one, like 2000 and
360.
Yeah,
launch, I think.
Yeah,
2007, something like that, maybe. I don't know.
Somewhere in that area.
Yeah, so you're talking about 13 years later, right? And that goes for Mass Effect too, right? So, in order to capture the magic of something like that again, you have to wow people like they were wowed back then. It can't just be more of the same. It's got to be surprising, a new take. That's why I like the reboots when they actually completely re-envision a franchise.
Like Perfect Dark.
That's where we're gonna go with this, man. So this was actually a perfect segue to this because Xbox did show up big time at the Game Awards, where a lot of people said, "Hey, Jeff Keighley's hosting. Xbox isn't going to really even be there, right?" I felt like they needed to be. They had already told us before, "Hey, tune in later this year to find out more of what we have from our first party." It's December. It was December 10th yesterday, and we still hadn't found anything more from the first party. I thought it was bound to happen. I think we got some really cool news. We had Perfect Dark kicked off the show with a huge announcement. They kind of went through the cinematic trailer that showed a little bit of what it has to offer. as far as the aesthetic and kind of what they're going for, the vibe, I guess you would say, with that game. Before there was an argument like, hey, should we have Perfect Dark? You know, when it was rumored that Initiative was working on that game, or should we have a new IP? Right? So now that speculation is over. Right? We know it's Perfect Dark. I want to know, like, how do you guys feel about that versus a brand new project? And where do you think it's the right move from Microsoft to have them make this game, or should they have had them create something brand new? So I want to start with Lupa this time.
Well, something brand new would be good. But I think it's more of a similar type of game. And I don't know. Yeah, it was cool to see. I hope they give it the kudos it deserves. I don't know, really. I'm a bit about it.
Yeah, is that a franchise that excites you in any kind of way anyway, or is that
Not
not your
really.
style?
Not really. I mean, it's okay, but it's not something that grabs me. No. But, I'm excited for other gamers, that are really into it. It looked good. I like the look of it. I will try it. I try everything. If I don't like it, I don't play it. If I like it, I'll carry on.
But now the question is, Lupa, if you don't like it, do you broadcast it all over social media? Do you tell everybody how much you dislike it?
No.
That's what you're
my
supposed to do,
personal
right?
choice.
That's evidently.
I don't think there's anybody
No,
here
I
that
don't
does
do that.
that.
I don't think it's necessary. If I don't like a game and somebody asks me outright, like on a podcast like now, I will say, I'm sorry, I don't get on with that game. But that's my personal choice. Somebody else's is relevant
Okay,
also.
I'm posting the tweet now. Let's see. Luca.
Lupa thinks Perfect Dark is trash.
Yeah, Luca says Perfect Dark is trash. Xbox is going out of business next week.
They made it. They screwed up big time.
Fuck you, Phil Spencer. Okay, there we go.
Oh wow, yeah, that'll get a lot of likes from
Well,
one group of people.
Well, I'm just trying to impersonate some of the people I see online during the day. That's all.
Do you got any thoughts on that, Wilmy? Like, what do you think? Like, Xbox, are they making the right move going with like a first party, bringing that back, or do you think they should have went with like a new IP?
I would love to see a new IP, but I still think you're going to. They've got 3 separate teams or 2 separate teams working on different games. So I don't think that's the only game they're making, but I'm happy to see Perfect Dark. I'm good with it. I played the original, but I like the trailer. And here's the kick too: if you don't really like the game, you don't even have to buy it. It'll be in Game Pass, so it's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But I was happy to see it. Although I do really want to see what else they're working on. I know there's something else in that big studio, and they've got all that talent there for something.
Yeah, did they ever say they actually do have like more than one team at the Initiative?
They've said it once or twice.
I think they said they were working on multiple projects, I think.
So that's intriguing there, because you're talking about, even more possibilities from when people tend to think of like acquisitions and starting new studios and stuff. They tend to think of like, okay, this rotation of a game, right? Okay, this studio is going to make this game. This studio is going to make this game. This studio is going to make this game, right? But we know like Obsidian and Rare and a bunch of these companies are capable of making 2 or 3 games, right? So, just because we get this announcement doesn't mean there may not be some other kind of announcement next year from the Initiative on something else, right? So that's interesting, and the speculation will not stop because of the Perfect Dark announcement now. It's
you throw that word around a lot. It's like it's tied to your channel or something.
I hear it and it just like tickles my fancy. I don't know what it is. 3-bit man, what do you think, dude?
I think Well, first off, this sort of ties in with the last conversation. I think there's a whole business on nostalgia, right? You have Disney who makes business based on cartoon movies right now with remakes, and then the Star Wars franchise. And I think a lot of people probably think like Lupa right now, where they don't know much about the game, so they're just like, eh. But I think people actually see more of what the initiative has to offer. I think a lot of people are going to jump into the game, which is why it's a reboot. A lot of people don't know the story of Perfect Dark or know anything about it, which sort of gives it some power in some way. They get a chance to. Perfect Dark is so old that it has a chance to not stick to the formula as much from the first game. They could sort of do a lot with it. Um, but they can also take loved about it and what made it unique. So it's in an interesting spot where it's just old enough to get away with doing a lot new with the franchise. Um, I do think a lot of people probably do think like, oh, Perfect Dark, cool. What is that? You know, um, like me, I'm very excited about it. I'm more excited for Perfect Dark based on people who are involved in the game. Um, so I'm looking at it from that sense, but people who you're just watching, they're like, "Oh, that was a pretty cool trailer," or they don't know what the heck what is going on. But yeah, I'm very excited for Perfect Dark. I think it's going to be a cool game. The only negative that sort of came for me for the game is not even really a negative because I still don't know. I wanted that game to be a third person game. Um, and it seems like it's going to be first person.
Yeah.
Gonna do first person. I want at least the option of third person because of all the people that's in that studio have worked on third person games. I want to see Xbox do if it's gonna be a quadruple A studio working on it. I want to see what they could do with the third person at least because Xbox they have so many amazing first person games, so it'll just sort of differentiate that a bit. But it's not a big deal. I'll play it either way.
Yeah.
I know Perfect Dark is a first person game. So yeah, that's basically what I think about it.
Hey, real quick, I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. We got the NLG, I'll call them the NLG brothers. We got Mike, Chris, and I think I saw Peter in here earlier as well. What's going on, guys? We got Stubbs. Hello, Stubbs. How are you doing? I see you guys in the chat. I almost shouted you out. I got Clowns, my man. How's it going?
We got Avish.
Avish. Avish, my fellow Dallasite. How's it going, man? We got Black Card also. Bacon, ATL. I really appreciate all you guys being here. It means a lot, hanging out with us. I wanted to mention after the show, we are doing Ultimate After Hours, where you can join us playing Master Chief Collection Open Party. Again, 3-Bit will destroy you if he decides to join us. So yeah, check that out. My gamer tag and everything. You know what? Actually, I'm going to throw this up here real quick. Let's see if I can pull this off. Check this out. After Hours.
Oh no, Pops.
Yeah,
not
join
again.
us for Ultimate After Hours tonight. It's on the screen. You have no excuse not to know my
You're
gamer
really-
tag or my wife's.
You're going to strain Discord, dude. Be careful.
Hey, this is on OBS, man. I think I'm safe. We'll see. All right.
It's
So,
fun.
yeah, this is
Sorry,
going to be a good time. If you were there last week, then you know the kind of fun that we had. Mike wanted to leave. We didn't want to let him leave. There was some chants going on. We sounded like a weird kind of tribe or something. I don't know, but it was a great time. One more, guys. So
Oh,
One more.
yeah, we'll see if there's something else that pops up tonight. But regarding this with Perfect Dark, I think that it might as well be a new IP at this point. What I mean is Perfect Dark might as well be a new IP in itself, because It's been so long. Like it was the last one we got was a 360 launch game, which was kind of like a strange continuation of Perfect Dark. It didn't really, or it's actually a prequel, right? And it was, I had fun with that game, right? I'm not gonna say I didn't play it and I didn't enjoy it. I played the multiplayer and I had fun with it. I beat the game and all that kind of stuff. Did it hold up? No, it didn't hold up, right? Now, it's been a long time since that, right? We've going on this is even
That was our
longer.
360 launch title.
Yeah. So you talk, what was that 2005? Something like that, 2006? You know, that's a long time ago. A lot of people, like 3-Bit was saying, don't even know this game. If you come out with a new title by a brand new studio that has their own vision of it, it's going to seem like a new IP to a lot of people, right? Perfect Dark, in my opinion, has a lot to offer with the story that they can tell in that world that they created with the characters that they made. So I think it's interesting, whether it's Perfect Dark or a new IP. All I care about is that it's a good game, right? So I think that studio it has a lot of talent. I think it's in good hands, so we'll see what they're capable of. But yeah, I got faith in it. And do you got anything to add on any of this stuff we've been talking about, babe?
No. I thought I was muted. Sorry.
No, you weren't muted.
But I actually wasn't.
No, not this time. No. So
Looks like it's going all over the world with seeing the pyramids and everything.
yeah. They're interesting. They also if you watch the other video they had where they kind of talk a little bit about it, like they mentioned doing interesting things with the camera, like GoPro style. You know, they were really interested in doing some of that kind of stuff. So even if it's first person, I think it's going to have a different feel to it than we're used to with a first person game. And there's not a lot of first person spy thriller games out there, right? There's kind of, you know, there's a big hole, especially with even though these are third person games, Metal Gear and Splinter Cell are kind of disappeared, you know. It's good to have something else besides Hitman, you know, and something else besides Deus Ex, you know. And
people tend to have like a really bad stealth mechanics in their games, or stealth is like an afterthought, you know.
Yeah. In Perfect
I
Dark,
hope
you could
they-
say maybe it's not that stealthy of a game, but the gadgets, it's kind of more like the female James Bond kind of, right? In a way,
Yeah.
right? Where he is a spy, right? But it's not as much of sneaking around corners and stuff like that as much as it is using your tools at your disposal and infiltrating buildings, I guess. It's kind of where they're going with it.
3-bit. I wish it would be in third person. I'd probably be happier.
Yeah, then it'd be like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
I know where you're going with that. If it was more like Assassin's Creed, then I think I would like that game.
Yeah, I
See-
did play about
Mm.
I don't know, a couple of hours of the first one, and I just couldn't get into it at the time.
See, that's my problem.
Maybe it's different now.
Most games are so cookie cutter in
Yeah.
the last 5 to 6 years. There's so many of them, it's really hard to tell them apart anymore. It's like, oh, look, this one has a tree, the other one didn't. Amazing. This one has pyramids. Oh, this one has palm trees. They're all becoming the same game because they've hit their safe spot with game design. Nobody's willing to take
lot
a
of
risk
them
anymore
were-
with video games.
I mean,
A
that's
lot
where
of
you
the
find
Ubisoft
indie games.
games are generic.
Go
That's
ahead,
why I
Luca.
get engaged. Yeah. I was just saying that's what that like a lot of the Ubisoft games now are really generic. You couldn't really tell one from the other apart from the titles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Makes
mean,
it
even the Division,
Mm.
if you take out some of the other characters and change the setting, would it really be that much different? Well, I mean, the weapons, of course.
Mm.
It'd be kind of weird if you're running through
Huge.
Valhalla with a machine gun.
Yeah.
That'd be
It's
kind
the
of, I don't know, that'd
weapons
be kind of
usually.
cool though, in a way, wouldn't it?
Yeah. They could
It's the
probably
same
make that
mechanic,
happen.
kind of be like on Indiana
it back.
Jones, you know, when the guy's swinging the swords at him, he just pulls out his pistol and shoots him. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be
Yeah.
that kind of thing. That'd be
Who
great.
brings a knife to a gunfight?
I've always wanted to see Assassin's Creed in the future, though. They've always gotten further and further, and then they go back even in
Yeah.
time. So one day.
Well, if you want to go into that,
and-
that was one of my favorite things about the first few Assassin's Creed is that side story with Desmond and everything that was going on there. And then, but it was always like almost like a lower budget afterthought with like the production values on the modern day stuff. But the story and how that all worked was extremely interesting to me, and that still exists somewhat. But it's like, and it's a complete afterthought just to keep it there now, as opposed to making it a bigger part of the game, which they had done with Assassin's Creed 2. And I always remember going back with those games like, okay, each game's going to be like a little bit further in the timeline. Each game's going to be a little further. When are they going to catch up to modern day? And how are they going to handle that with guns and stuff, you know, and how's it going to be? And that was kind of where I was always thinking like Assassin's Creed was going to go. But instead they went completely opposite. They just like went to different parts of the world and different times and try to interconnect it somehow. But
let's speculate.
Yeah.
That's your word, right? Let's speculate.
Yes.
I do believe that at some point in time, Assassin's Creed will go back to medieval days.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah, I can see it.
Like what era?
Here's
What
the thing
era?
with the-
Like what country?
Probably where Lupa is, somewhere in England.
So that was like Syndicate, right?
Yeah,
Was that?
Knights in their armor.
Yeah, I want to see him running around with armor. But I want it done in like a Monty Python style. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
That would be awesome to watch.
It's sort of running out of places, right? When I first I think what's left is Japan, probably. So they'll probably eventually go to Japan. They kind of did like a
I don't think so.
mobile type, like a assassin ninja or however.
China, Russia, and India.
Yeah, those are places, good places too. But in terms of like what you were saying, Mav, with the Assassin's Creed franchise, I think what in terms of the story where I sort of stopped caring was was the fact that I felt like the story was progressing towards something. Where eventually Abstergo, it was very hard for the assassins. It was very hard for them to find the assassins, so they had to like literally look for somebody linked to that bloodline of assassins, right? But now I think
It's just like they can throw anybody in there.
Yeah. So that I think that's when I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, I like the games. I'm not trying to knock on what they've become, but to me, it's just not. It might as well be a different franchise. You know what I mean? They're using the Assassin's Creed name to sell a franchise that is no longer Assassin's Creed. It's become what it's become and deserves to be here because it's an amazing franchise. Hopping around different places in time around the world and exploring those environments. But as far as where the story was going and what their ideas were originally, in my opinion, it's hanging on by a thread. Right? They're just trying to keep it there somehow.
They need a holy hand grenade.
Yeah. Do y'all remember the end of Assassin's Creed 2?
Oh,
Yeah.
vaguely.
Yeah, and they kind of had the big reveal about like the the future and stuff, or not the future but the past, right? So interesting where they were going with that. I kind of want them to bring more of that back.
I've got it, dude. I've got it. We're going to pitch it to Ubisoft. I'm not religious, but look, I spent my time being a Catholic as a kid.
Yeah.
Let's take them back to the Garden of Eden, right? When Cain and Abel got into their big fight, that's where you branch off the story.
Hey, there's a lot of biblical references in Assassin's Creed, especially the first few.
There was Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
And then after that one, you can just take it back even further to the Big Bang Theory. You can do it that way.
I mean, the whole thing is about the apple.
Exactly.
So, Yeah.
don't think they'll
Assassin's
go to
Creed, Garden of
Japan for
Eden.
it because Ghost of Tsushima is basically Assassin's Creed Japan.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Point.
But
So-
yeah, I think we should pitch that to Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed, Garden of Eden, coming to
Yeah,
you
I
fall of
I reckon
2022.
that could work.
How about you just make Jesus like the main character in the next Assassin's Creed game?
There you go.
Jesus,
Yeah,
Assassin
they used to do,
Warrior.
like all these they always did like all these historical characters in there, like George Washington was in the third one.
Yeah.
Isn't he like a Templar or something like that?
I
You
don't
could do it.
You know,
Yeah.
I said that as a joke, but we're actually putting this together where it almost makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. Connecting the pieces.
It certainly does. We could do it better.
So
And
this
you get Moses in there, you know, and he's screaming at people, go, "Get your ass on the boat, bitch!" You know, I mean, it could be
Slapping
funny.
them around the head with the tablets.
Yeah, it would be great.
And maybe it was like the
Yeah.
apple that made the water. You could make it happen. And Noah,
Mm.
Yeah.
all that.
The fishes and the bread come from the apple.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, how do you guys just to get somewhat back on track? how do you guys
Sorry,
think?
Matt.
No, you're fine. We're that's fun. I like talking about that stuff. But how do you guys think Xbox did overall at the Game Awards? Right, like they had the big Perfect Dark announcement. We found out the Yakuza remasters are all coming to Game Pass. Then we got also the Flight Simulator. It was officially announced as coming to Xbox and in the summer, right? And then also several other third-party games that were shown are going to be coming to Xbox as well. Do y'all think they kind of stole the show a little bit with some of that stuff, or do you think that they still needed to do more?
I think they're good. I think they showed more than what most people anticipated.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with that.
They did
100%.
fantastic. I think well, first off, I was expecting more Sony, more of a Sony presence there. They were
I did
What
too.
did
I
they
was shocked.
I was
I was
shocked. I was shook. I think Microsoft did really good. I was like screaming when I saw Yakuza because I'm just about to finish Kiwami 2 and I'm like, there's nothing else after this. That kind of sucks. And then they announced that. I was like, yeah, So me, it was a great show overall. I like the pacing and maybe I don't know who mentioned it. Maybe it was someone in my Discord was mentioning the fact that the pacing was a lot better, and maybe it's because of the fact that no one had to walk, or maybe it was you, Mav. I think maybe that might have been you.
It was Mav.
The pacing of the show. Yeah, it was Mav, wasn't it? Yes,
I don't remember. What were we talking? Oh yeah, no, yeah. The pacing of
He was walking off.
yeah, it's like because these guys aren't used to doing award shows. These developers and voice actors as much. They do them occasionally, but and for a lot of these people, it's awkward getting on stage, going up in front of a microphone and talking to a crowd, especially when you're being watched by millions of people. And it's just that kind of always kills the vibe of the show a little bit, and it gets a little awkward. Where this was like, hey, snap, let's go, one thing to the next, and it just felt better, in my opinion.
Everything except Jeff Keighley's shoes.
Mm. Got heel
Yeah.
raisers in those. 'Cause he's
Other
a
than
short
that-
bugger.
Did you watch the show, Lupa?
Yeah.
Well, you were watching it probably on the NLG stream. Were you, I think, right? I think I saw you
I
in the
was.
chat. Yeah.
And then I watched it again today.
Oh, you watched it
there's one
again?
thing I
You
liked
liked it
that-
that much?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
No, I wanted to make sure I had everything covered for tonight.
Wow. But you prepared more than me. There were some games in there that I think were kind of gems that we didn't know about that kind of are now on our radar. That's the point of these stages like this, to kind of like
Back for
Yeah.
blood.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, Back for Blood. Let's talk about some. I mean, if we're going to bring up Xbox, um, uh, basically talking about what they did in the show, they brought up the Game Pass announcement, right? They announced that all the Yakuzas are going. Then they showed Arc 2 with Vin Diesel, which
Hmm.
It was
that
interesting.
That
was
was weird.
yeah, that was whoa. I was so confused that everybody was making jokes like Fast and Furious is now going back to the past where you could ride dinosaurs and all this different stuff. So that was an interesting announcement. And what else did they show? Perfect Dark was a big one. So they definitely did more than I thought they would. With Aaron Greenberg tricking everybody, kind of saying like, "Oh, don't your expectations, whatever." To me means no Perfect Dark, maybe Game Pass announcement. That's it. Not you know, but to me the show exceeded my expectations, especially for doing a show during COVID. It must have been very tricky. Um, with all that said, I do think it's their best show so far. So that's saying a lot.
Yeah, and by the way,
But
your
yeah, what did
stream
you
was
guys
really cool. The stuff that you guys did over on your
thank you?
channel for that. If anybody has a chance to go check out somebody who did a lot of work and did some awesome things, way more than I've ever done, by far. Check out the Video Games HD YouTube channel because their stream was really cool. It's like Mystery Science Theater 3000, right? Watching that. So good job on that,
They
man.
made
That's
a
impressive.
digital theater and did like advertisements, like did advertisements for people as if I was like these animated characters and stuff like that. So it was pretty fun. Pretty fun.
Yeah. So
Now,
what
I'll
was
tell you
your?
one game. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what was your favorite announcement, or favorite thing at the show in general?
Hmm.
Jeff
Oh,
Keighley's
man.
shoes.
Chip Kelly shoes. Man. I guess when I think about my favorite, I think about what stood out to me the most, and that was probably
Jeff Keighley's shoes.
Crimson Desert
Crimson Desert,
slash
the MMO.
Keely's shoes. Yeah, that looked really good. Um, yeah, I'll have to say that is either my favorite or Perfect Dark.
Right on. What about you, Wilmy? Did you actually watch the show?
Yeah, I did it while we were doing the podcast last night.
Right on. Oh yeah, so you're doing Ask Wilmy, right?
Yep, Callisto Protocol. And the reason is these are the people that made Dead Space.
Yeah.
I saw the video, and the first thing I said, this is Dead Space. Because I just got the vibe from it. And you know me, that's my type of game, dude. Wherever there's something scary and freaky that I can shoot at, I'm there. So that and Back for Blood. Oh, yeah. Definitely. All day.
Yeah. That.
And don't get me wrong, Perfect Dark too. But
Yeah. All big moments.
To see Back for Blood come back, and basically it's Left 4 Dead. These are the guys that made the original.
Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
What did you think of that Warhammer game?
That actually looks really good too. And I've not even played any of the Warhammer games.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I actually saw some decent games that really caught my interest. And that's unusual nowadays. So, but Callisto Protocol definitely took the show for me.
Yeah, the character design on the what is an alien monster, whatever that was really cool.
Actually, it looks a lot like my mother-in-law on Christmas Eve, but that's beside the point.
It was like Krampus.
Yeah, they remind me a lot of each other.
Hey, Lupa, what stood out for you? And like, did Xbox? How did they do?
I think Xbox done very well. I was very pleased with it. It's the best game award so far, in my opinion. And Jeff Keighley's shoes, shit. Anyway, my favorite game is two.
Hey, I appreciate the comment, Michael Garvey.
Can give me.
That's awesome, man. Everybody being here, Super Cooper, I see. Indie Gamer is in here now. What's up, guys? Thanks for being here. So I know what your biggest announcement that you were excited about was, babe.
What?
Master Chief in Fortnite.
Oh, no.
No?
You're striking out tonight, babe.
Huh? I know. I like keep getting wrong guesses, but hey, I will say this: I was 100% on my predictions for the Game Awards last night. I put in the Discord channel. Anybody can actually go and look in my channel and see in the Fun Speculation channel, whatever you call it, on there, and you can see my prediction. I said they were going to have one big game announcement, AAA game announcement. I said they were going to have gameplay from one next gen game, or no, one Series X game that was going to be coming out this year, or no, not this year, but next year. And then also said that there was going to be some kind of a Game Pass announcement. So
Congrats! I
that
made
was
you
3 for
some
3.
cupcakes.
So that was Perfect Dark, Flight Simulator, and also Yakuza coming to Game. All
Yes,
the
I can't
Yakuza
wait.
games coming to Game Pass.
It Takes Two. People are saying that in the chat. That looks great too. I can't wait to play that with like
Love the look of that.
somebody.
Yeah. I have to show that game
And
to
I'm
you,
not
babe. I don't know if you
playing
noticed it, but yes, yes,
Hey.
baby.
What's a bosom? Is that bubbies or is it a butt?
Goobies.
At Wilmy. Wilmy's the expert.
Okay.
Titties.
Because Avish said the girl with the prominent bosom. It wasn't the host girl wearing like a really low cut top.
Yeah, her name is it Cindy or Sydney? Is it Sydney Goodman?
Sydney Goodman.
Yeah, she's
That's
works for
how I
IGN.
That's the only thing I took away from it.
So that's the only thing you took away? That was your favorite part of the show?
It was my favorite part, but it's the only thing that like stuck in my mind.
There's probably some guys in the chat that probably say the same thing. So
Yeah, Avish. Or sorry, Avish.
Oh, he says bosom is the chest area.
yeah, that's like an older term for it, but yeah, it's boobs.
And YouTube just censored you, sir.
They did?
And you're banned.
No, I've called him a pussy before on a stream.
You
Well,
guys have been on Gaming Beyond the Box. You've heard the shit we talk, so I think you're safe.
The crazy thing is, Wilmy, right when you said that, I got this weird message on the YouTube stream on my command center thing here. It said like no data. I was like, what? So I was actually freaking out for a second. It was weird. It was just bad timing.
All right, Leo, you can stop doing, messing with Mav now.
Is he a hacker?
He was
Yeah.
doxing. Yeah, that's all.
So I always, well, not always. We started this last week, so it's going to be always and forever from now on. I'm going to throw out this topic that I did not send to you guys ahead of time because I didn't want to give you a chance to think about it. So you're going to be put on the spot. You have to kill one.
Oh no.
3-Bit knows what this is because I did it to him last week. So this last week I went with shooters, right? This week I'm going with big time Xbox games that were announced that we know are coming. You have to kill one. You think this game is trash. You don't think it deserves to be made. It doesn't deserve your attention or anybody else's time. Don't come out. You're saying no. Okay? So that's what your opinion is of this game. So you have to kill one of these. Perfect Dark, Avowed, Starfield, or Fable. 3-Bit, you're first.
I hate you.
Perfect Dark, Avowed, Starfield, or Fable. Which one is trash, my friend?
That's so hard. Oh, those are so good or potentially good.
No, one of them's trash. One of them doesn't deserve to be made.
One of them doesn't deserve to be made. I have to go with Avowed.
Okay, what's wrong with
Because-
Avowed, man?
There's nothing wrong with Avowed. You're making
No,
me kill him.
you clearly don't want this game to come out. You say it doesn't deserve to be made. You have no faith in this franchise. What's wrong with
Yeah, I
it?
think Avowed is just a 1 out of 10. They should have never made it. It's better. So there's that. So I'm choosing Avowed.
In all seriousness, is there a reason why you would say Avowed, or you're just picking out of the hat?
I chose Avowed because first off, I can't live without a new Fable. I need a new Fable in my life.
Understood.
Dark, I'm so interested in that game just because of all the developers in it, and I want to see a new Fable game, so I want to play that. I'm picturing like if I had to play this game on an island and that's all I could play. What else was there?
Starfield.
Starfield. Very close to killing Starfield.
That's just voluntary information again. I think you did the same thing last week.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I'm like, oh, this is why
we don't have to know that you
kill this
almost
one.
wanted to kill something.
I was gonna kill Starfield, but I'm also very interested in that game, so I just had to kill Avowed. It's like I could get that Elder Scrolls instead, you know, which is outside this category.
Lupa, what is it for you? Which one do you hate? Perfect Dark, Avowed, Starfield, or Fable?
Can't wait for Fable. Really can't wait for Fable. Avowed looks interesting. Don't know if they'll do it justice. It's got to be between the other two for me. So much hype about Starfield, but I don't know much about it, and I don't like Bethesda very much. Starfield.
So earlier you said you were that interested in Perfect Dark, but you're just going ahead and killing Starfield anyway. So that's interesting.
Because Perfect Dark could be okay.
Right.
I'm not a fan of Bethesda. I think they rip people off over 76, then tried to rip them off again. So I'm not a fan of Bethesda.
Well, they're part of Xbox now, so that's
I don't care.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I'm not fair. Their games, and I don't mind Doom a little bit, but I'm not fussed on the others.
Yeah.
So yeah, Starfield.
Awesome. Hey, Wilmy, which one is the worst game franchise on the planet that you don't want to exist?
Now I know why Lupa and I get along so well. I'm gonna say Starfield because it's gonna be 2 years where you can play it anyway. It's made by Bethesda. It's gonna be full of bugs. It's probably not gonna even play properly for at least 6 months until they release several patches. By the time they release the patches, then they'll try to rent you a server for the broken game. And so you might as well just do away with Starfield. I want my Fable. I don't give a fuck what nobody else says. I want Fable.
I didn't take you for a Fable guy, Wilmy.
You can take Starfield. You can shove it. You can shove it right up somebody's rear for all I care. I just want my Fable. That's it. I want Fable.
So you can you heard it here first. Wilmy says you can take Starfield and shove it up somebody's ass, and it does not deserve to be made.
Yeah, you can take it right back to little Mr. What's his name? Todd Howard, whatever. No, that's not Todd Howard.
No, it's Todd Howard. Starfield's Todd Howard. Yeah.
Yeah. After all that BS he gave us for Fallout 76, yeah. Yep. And I know he's they're part of Xbox now, but that doesn't see. I'm not exactly the best of Xbox because if I don't like something, I don't give a fuck who makes it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to like it. Just because Xbox has their name on it doesn't mean I'm going, oh my God, Mav is so great. I've got to have this game. No, fuck that. I don't give a damn whose name's on the studio.
Yeah.
So just go ahead, toss it, as King David would say, toss it in the bushes. Give me my Fable.
Fair enough. What about you, babe? Perfect Dark, Avowed, Starfield, or Fable? Kill one.
I've never played any of them, so
you have to pick one.
I don't know.
But we have to know where you stand.
Avowed? I don't even know what they are.
Good choice. Moving on.
So bad.
So for me, I would say I would also. Oh man, it's hard for me. I like am a little too optimistic, probably. Right? I always have like the highest hopes for these things, and I get
You're
really
killing
excited.
this thing,
I know,
murdering these.
but
Okay.
one has to die. It can't exist.
Yes.
It doesn't deserve it. So if I have to choose something out of the 4, Perfect Dark, Avowed, Starfield, or Fable, I would say Avowed. I like you guys. I need Fable in my life. It's been way too long. That's one of my favorite gaming franchises ever. I poured so many hours into that. Perfect Dark, my mind is spinning with possibilities for that game, and I really want to see what it becomes. Starfield, I want to see what Todd Howard's capable of in space. I love Fallout.
In space, baby.
I love Fallout. I love Skyrim. I love Oblivion. Right? Just great games, and this is the next one from him. And Avowed, as much as it kills me, I know I will love that game. I will absolutely passionately love that game. However,
You're not
right now
not
it
allowed
has
to
to
buy it.
die because I already know what to expect from that game. Right? Out of the games listed here, it's the one I already know what it's going to be. You know what I mean? I can just picture it in my head. Well, Fable's
gonna be pretty much
a
Skyrim.
reboot, right? So Obsidian's made lots of these kind of games. So I know what Obsidian can do, and I know and I know I will enjoy it, but I know what it's probably going to be like. So, but I want them
from
all.
What I gather, it's gonna be like Skyrim.
And all of these are going to be on
Skyrim,
Game
Elder
Pass.
Scrolls.
And I'm still not going to play
I'm gonna
Starfield.
try 'em all.
You
No, me neither.
you're still not going to touch Starfield?
No, never, dude. Never.
Probably not.
So is there something
Alright,
that they could
can
show
I-
you
can
that would
I-
change your mind?
They could bring me a check. Then maybe. I'll tell you
Can
what.
I be the
I'll do
Bethesda
it.
employee?
If we can get Phil Spencer to come on my podcast and give Fort Boy a hand job while we're on the air, then I'll play Starfield. Until that happens, I'm not touching that shit.
Consider it done.
Can I be the Bethesda employee and pitching why could play Starfield potentially?
Pitch it.
Okay.
You're
right,
you're
so-
making an investor call right now, 3-bit. This is for millions of dollars that you have to earn. Let's hear
Okay,
your pitch.
Wilmy and Lupa, as a Bethesda employee, we've made some mistakes with Fallout 76, but we were just trying to sell out our company. We pitched our company to Google, and now Xbox has bought us. So now we can do what we want and not suck you dry out of your money, and we can get back to what we love, which is single player adventure games. You like Skyrim? You like the old Fallout, not the new one. Don't worry, that was the past. Okay.
Fallout. You're talking about Fallout
The
3 and
old
Fallout 4, right? New Vegas.
Then we may be able to provide that for you as a
We may.
Bethesda
That's not
employee.
inspiring.
Now, wait a minute. Are you trying to talk us into buying a game, or are you trying to run for some type of political office?
We might be able to do this, guys. I don't know. Just give us millions
I
and
don't
millions
know.
of dollars. We'll see. It's a possibility.
It's like Michael
It's a
just said in your
possibility.
chat. Throwing money at a problem doesn't always work.
Yeah,
Said may.
we may.
See, we may be a very good company, or we may not. Have to see.
You instilled this with confidence. That's great. I don't think you've budged Wilmy or Lupa on this at all.
I don't think
No,
I
'cause
did.
I have bought way too many Bethesda games. I've been gaming since the 80s. I've played way too many of them. I know how they work. And if you can't fix your shit in this number of years, I don't care who buys you at this point. You're not going to have it fixed.
Cyberpunk is pretty buggy.
I've only had 2 issues with it, and I've got
Yeah.
24 hours into it.
That's not bad.
Wow. That's
But
crazy.
you
Are
gotta
you
admit,
playing on PC or are you playing on Xbox Series X?
I'm playing on the Series X. But the thing is, there's a lot of stuff in Cyberpunk that would never work in a Bethesda game because it would just burn your console the minute you turned it on. There's a lot of stuff in Cyberpunk going on at one given time.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to playing that. I'm playing that tomorrow, actually, for the first time. So I'm looking forward to the patch. I was going back and forth for whether or not to play it till the patch comes out, but I can't wait. I've been waiting for this game since I was who knows how old. So I'm ready to tomorrow
I'm waiting for the patch.
for the patch.
I then
I
never
can't
sorted
do it.
bugs out and I can play that is best.
I haven't had
respect-
any
I
issues. It's been
You
pretty
barely
smooth.
playing on the Series X.
No, I was playing up here for a couple more hours while I was doing other
were
stuff.
you?
Yeah. So I probably played about 3 or 4 hours. Now, it's not a ton, right? I haven't had a lot of time, but the only thing I can say that happened with it was like it kind of almost froze once. It kind of like for like 2 seconds, right? The screen kind of got still, and then it went back to normal, right? Other than that, it's been great. But from what I've heard from people that are playing like the PC version, is that they have a lot more features and stuff as far as graphics and stuff. We are playing pretty much on Xbox a backwards compatible version right now, but running it really well on the Series X. So, or PS5 if you have that right now. I don't think if you have a next gen console, you have to really wait for the patch because it is still a good experience. And I think this is going to be a game probably worth playing more than once. So play it and then play it again when the patch comes out, right? This is one of those.
Yeah, three times. You're gonna have to play it 3 times to experience
Yeah.
each route. But
Yeah.
I've got so much else to play at the moment, it just makes sense for me to wait.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I mean, if that's the other thing, we all have so much to play right now, and there's really too much. I want to buy Immortals: Phoenix Rising. I want to buy Yakuza Like a Dragon. I want to play those, but I can't create time, right? I can't make 2 of me to be able to play 2 games at once. So they're just gonna have to wait. That's just what's gonna happen right now.
Xbox has no games, but I have way too much to play right now.
Yeah, way
It's
too
kind of
much.
ridiculous.
Well, see, the thing is, most people on Twitter don't have games. They just don't play games. They just sit on Twitter 24/7.
I play
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah. Do you get achievements for that? I'm being curious.
I'm not sure. I think it's called Achievement Arseholes.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Twitter fingers.
Oh, that post I put up this morning. Did they give you discounts
I
at grocery
didn't- I-
stores?
Are you raising your hand, babe? You don't have to raise your hand. You can just interrupt.
Stephen O'Connor in the chat said any game recommendations this year.
How many do we have? Wow. Well,
Wow.
you go ahead, 3-bit. You say one.
I was going to ask what
Any
platform.
game
Yeah,
recommendations?
that's a good question. What platform?
What,
That's what I was going
platform?
to ask.
Well, this is an Xbox podcast, so maybe he's talking about Xbox, is what I'm assuming.
Oh. Well, if we're assuming Xbox, I really love the Yakuza series right now. I love how much stuff there is to do in those games. Now it's on Game Pass. You can like go bowling, you can time and just like kart racing and fight random people in the street. It has so much stuff to do in that game, and it's just ridiculous. Doesn't take itself seriously.
So, Like
So-
a Dragon?
I haven't played Like a Dragon yet. I'm trying to finish Kiwami, but that is my next game. Either that or Halo. Always Halo. Halo all day.
What's your number one recommendation, Lupa?
Well, I'm an indie gamer as well. I do like my indies, and I have to say, I've been playing Call of the Sea. That's quite good. Or Unto the End. That's quite good. Or Spiritfarer. That's really good. All in Game Pass. Don't cost you a penny except your monthly, unless you do rewards, and then you don't pay monthly either.
You got any quick suggestions, Wilmy?
Cyberpunk. And if you're going to play, and if you're asking about the PS5, you got to play Sackboy. You've got to do it.
Yeah,
I know it may look like a cute, cuddly little creature, but the game is a true platformer, an old school platformer.
yeah, that's
and
awesome.
I don't think this game is really made for kids. Because I don't care how old you are, when you get into the later levels, you will curse at your television when you're playing Sackboy. So that Cyberpunk Visage has been one of my favorite games this year too. So, and that's on
Visage.
both consoles.
Nice. Do you have a suggestion real quick, babe?
Well, I sound like a broken record, but Halo Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, the update, especially if you get the update on, if you have a 1X or a Series X, it's definitely it's like a new game.
What's funny is we talked about moving one of the older Xboxes back into the bedroom.
Yeah.
And then I was like, will that affect Halo? And you said yes. So I said, no way.
Yeah. We have a lot of Xboxes now, so he's
the best.
Trying to figure out where to put everything right now. But for me, I guess I would say, just to name a different game, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's my favorite Assassin's Creed since Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. So that's definitely worth a play. All right, guys. So we had some fun with the kill one topic. Some more news came out, and this is, I know maybe you might be interested in this one, babe. Halo. They had their big update that they finally released on the website, and it gave some new information and tidbits regarding visuals, kind of where they're going with some of the multiplayer. They showed off actually the first multiplayer screenshots, because they showed off customization armor, and they also showed off a map. So I want to kind of know, based on the update, what your thoughts on what they showed compared to what they showed in the past, and does that kind of ease your mind? Also, the other news we got because of the update was that it is a fall release. So it is not coming until next fall. So that's a little bit of a downer. However, it may be worth it based on what we saw. So you got any thoughts on what they showed us from Halo?
Who?
Oh, 3-bit? Sorry.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Yeah, I thought you.
Oh, you can go first. You go first, babe.
Well, I mean, I'm pumped. It looks awesome. I actually thought, I was hoping that it was going to be spring. That's kind of what I was thinking, and I'm a little disappointed, but I know that it'll be worth the wait.
Yeah. What do you think about the map, like visuals and stuff? Did you see that?
Yeah, it looks awesome. All I can say is thank goodness that we have this updated Master Chief Collection to hold us by until then, because it'd be a lot more painful if we didn't.
That's true. That is very true. It would be harder, but you know what? Maybe we wouldn't even be thinking about Halo as much if we weren't playing the heck out of the Master Chief Collection right now. It'd just be kind of like patiently waiting.
We were pretty disappointed.
Yeah, I was.
They delayed it.
All right, so 3-bit.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. There's a couple things like the armor pickups are back, and I like that because it encourages map movement essentially. People are fighting for like weapons placed in the map. Um, like I think I've seen a grapple. I think it's called a grapple shot,
Yeah.
which you have to pick up. So I'm sure people are going to be fighting for that, and then whoever has it can like zip away, like I don't know, like Indiana Jones or something. And looks really, man. Like I think the art style is sort of reminiscent of Halo Reach and Halo 3 at the same time. I love both of those Halos. Um, I'm hoping that uh I'm just wondering how the customization is going to work, and I think everybody's sort of wondering that too because they said it's going to be sort of like Halo Reach, at even more in depth as Halo Reach. So I'm wondering what that means exactly. Are we going to have basic colors at least, where you can just choose basic colors? Someone pointed out to me though, that the fact that why are people worried about colors of a Spartan? This is kind of true, but I should bring it up. Why worry about the colors of your Spartan if, for the most part, if you play like Team Slayer, where you're red or blue anyways? And then I
Right.
was like, huh, yeah, you're right. um,
It only matters for free
but
for
yeah,
all, right?
I'm excited. If you play a lot of free for all, then I guess, and you're in first person anyways. But I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. Everything I saw, I'm very impressed by. Sort of what Caitlin's saying. I'm glad that we have the Master Chief Collection because that will definitely hold me over. I'm going to try and get the highest rank in Halo 5, so I could get those armor pieces. Um, I prefer playing Halos, but I'll just try, just to try to get that special armor that they got for Infinite.
Right on. Lupa, did you see the update?
Yes, I did.
Did you
I
get
have to
any
start off
takeaways
by
from it?
saying, yeah, I think it looked very pretty. It looked very nice. I'm hoping it's going to be really cool for you three because I'm not as big a Halo fan as you, but I do love to play multiplayer with my friends. So I like it in that sense. But I'm hoping Infinite lives up to its hype. I'm hoping that it gives you all everything you're looking for in a game.
Yeah, this may be the biggest video game release for Xbox in 10 years or
Yeah,
so because
yeah.
it with all the talk about hey it has no games and stuff we weren't really talking people weren't talking about that like when Halo 5 came out, because there was at that time there was still other games that we were expecting in the works that were getting that later got canceled, right? It was kind of part of that whole era, the dark times, right? But now we have Halo Infinite coming, and there's a lot of pressure because of the lack of new first party games. But they still exist, but not as frequent as people have wanted, right? And then Halo, this is a huge gap for Halo between Halo 5 and this game. So it's really crucial for them, I think, to get this right. It's not. I'm not gonna say it's end all be all, just because they have so much in the works, right? Like it's not. It's Xbox isn't doomed if Halo fails, like it would have maybe you could have said before. But when you have all of these different studios making all of these different games, it's still there's still a lot of great things to look forward to, right? But in a perfect,
If it does, it'll upset a lot of people.
I'm sorry, Lupa.
I said if it does fail, there's going to be an awful lot of upset in the gaming world.
Yeah.
People are going to be so disappointed. So I just hope that they nail it. I think they will. The difference between Valhalla in a month, looking at it, everybody was like, "Oh my God, that's terrible."
Yeah.
And then a month later, it's perfectly fine. So I don't think that if they delayed it for a reason. They weren't going to delay it lightly. And I'm glad that they did. And that now it should be as good as everybody's hoping for.
I think it gets talked about a lot because Halo's important to a lot of people, right? It just, I don't know. I think it needs to be stay relevant, right? And it obviously is because we're talking about it, and I've heard a lot of other people talk about it. So the relevancy is there. However, if it were to come out and kind of fizzle and fade quickly, right, would be kind of sad. So that's why I'm hoping, that it is going to succeed. I'm going to play the crap out of it regardless because I love the franchise and I know I'm going to like it based on what I've seen. But I want it to still be that big thing. Was that 3-bit?
We're finally getting an open world Halo title, so
yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, based on what they showed, I'm super happy with that. And it was kind of interesting that they chose Joe Staten to make the blog post, and that they gave him the title of creative director and all of that. I think they're trying to put like people's minds at ease a little bit. Did you see that update, Wilmy?
Which one?
The Halo update on the Halo Waypoint site.
I did, and I was impressed. But the one thing you have to remember for every person that is happy with it, Halo is going to be highly scrutinized by people that will never play it.
Yeah. Do you think that's just because it's an exclusive, or do you think it's the easy target because it's Xbox's biggest franchise?
Dude, Xbox could release a quadruple A game, and it would be so great. Your eyes would orgasm when you played it, and you would have people just troll it and everything else. So, to some people, it doesn't suit their narrative, so they're always going to talk trash about anything they do. But to me,
isn't an eye orgasm just crying though?
Well, maybe, but it is. I was impressed with it. I'll be picking it up. Matter of fact, you don't even have to buy it if you don't want to, because why? Game Pass.
In Game Pass.
Yeah, and the multiplayer is free to play. You don't even freaking have to have a Game Pass. All you gotta have is Xbox Live Gold for that. So
exactly
crazy.
But yeah, I think postponing it was probably a very smart move on their behalf. And think about it. And people act like, the funny thing is, if you pay attention to the community or you've been podcasting for a while, people act like COVID affected everything in the world except for video games when it came to the Xbox side. And, but it didn't affect anything that Xbox was making. But a lot of these game studios, they've been working remote. They're working on technology that was pretty much non-existent at the first of this year. All these people went into a studio together, up until March of this year. Then they were all working at home remotely trying to put all this stuff together. So you have to give them some credit for that. But I think it'll be great. I'm looking forward to it. And I think if this year would have been different, maybe it would have already, came out this year.
In a way, maybe regardless, just because of the backlash, we're getting a better game than we even would have gotten anyway. You know what I mean? Even without COVID or anything, it's a full year delay is a lot of extra time for polish and to enhance visuals. And based on what we're seeing with the updates, it kind of seems now like that's mainly what they're focused on is polishing and making it look amazing, right?
Well, didn't they say that the game was actually playable? They're just taking the time to work out bugs and they'll make it look better.
Yeah, you would think it would almost have to be because it was supposed to come out just a few months after. That delay was not
He said Joseph Staten said he played through the game twice already. So
Yeah.
I think the
Mhm.
game is in a state where they can just polish it, and sort of confirms as remember when the game was going to come out, they said that they're getting rid of or that ray tracing won't be available at launch. So that leads me to believe they are now just polishing everything in terms of the maybe some bugs, extra time for bugs, extra time to polish up the graphics, the art style, any of that we basically kind of critiqued, because he also said in the blog that the that was an older build, and that brutes and stuff are gonna basically have facial hair and beards and stuff like that. That wasn't shown. So that just leads me to believe, like, yeah, they're just touching up stuff now, all the way up till like whenever it's supposed to come out. Um, where it's just they have it's a good problem to have, where you're just in a stage where you're just polishing and you're like cleaning up things. I think that's a great problem to have in game development. If you're at a stage where you can play your game all the way through, that's great. um so yeah, COVID has affected really everyone, and I think despite, like, Wilmy sort of hit it on the nose with that one. Xbox position in the industry, I think, where it's always going to get hate despite whatever it does correct. They have one of the best things right now in gaming industry with Game Pass. People will still complain, you know. It's mostly people who don't even use it, or don't even use Game Pass, or don't even play on Xbox. They're just going to hate on it
Well,
regardless.
it
Um,
drives traffic to their YouTube channels. That's why.
It does. I mean, yeah, I normally I don't name drop, but people like Crap Gamer, MBG, those people have a whole brand where
Yeah, and you're right, and that's
essentially,
their whole stigma. They just hate Xbox because I've
yeah,
been doing this for a while, and the thing is, they don't ever really talk about anything else except how much they hate Xbox. That's their whole plot. That would be like if
yeah,
we
and
came
you
on
see,
here and just talked about PlayStation or PC or Nintendo the whole show. So, but yeah, it's
for
just
sure.
weird.
And then you have those same people, or you have like other podcasters, right? Like Dealer, who gets invited to talk with these companies, and you wonder why. You're like, why do these podcasters, or these people like Dealer, who celebrates and talks about the specs and celebrates the brand he's on, rather than bash the other brand for YouTube uh likes. And these people don't even play the games that they're bashing on. So I think regardless of whatever state Halo Infinite is gonna come in, whether it's like super polished and great, you're always going to get some type of hatred, regardless of how amazing that game is. But I'm a Halo fan. I'm looking forward to playing with my friends. I'm looking forward to checking it out. I'm hoping it lives up to the hype, as Lupa was saying, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, right on, man. As far as me, regarding what you're talking about, like, I was a PlayStation gamer way before I played Xbox. Like, PlayStation came out way before Xbox did. I got a PlayStation the year it came out originally. Played PlayStation 2. I played PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. I'm gonna get a PlayStation 5. I would already have one if Target didn't cancel my pre-order. And when somebody, do I choose on this podcast to bash PlayStation constantly, even though I am negative on things they do sometimes, just like we can be negative occasionally with some stuff that Xbox does. As I've mentioned, we had the dark times, right? We had the times when there was a lack of first party games, and they deserve some criticism there. They deserve a little bit of criticism for not having a lot of first party titles at launch, as many as Sony does, right? And that's fair. But to say that they don't have things going in the right direction, to say that things aren't looking good, to say that they haven't been invested now in next gen, and all of these things is just is just talk to kind of stir people up and trigger people unnecessarily in the hopes of sparking some kind of attention and debate. Whereas on one side, maybe there are some actual issues that people need to address, but they choose to ignore because it also doesn't suit their needs. But regardless, at the end of the day, it's all video games, guys. It's all supposed to be fun. We are playing these consoles and these games for enjoyment, whether it's storytelling, whether it is to have a new experience, whether it's to relive an old experience. It's freaking video games. You know what I mean? So, as far as people that are out there that are trolls or just looking for attention or looking to make money by causing controversy where there is none and spreading misinformation, I think we can all be better than that. Moving on. Arc 2 at the Game Awards. Exclusivity on Xbox. Anybody have anything to chime in with this? Because I found it interesting. Vin Diesel announced it himself by smiling on that trailer. I thought that was really interesting. I did not know what the heck this game was. It was pretty crazy. And then we see that at the end it's Arc 2, which is a very popular game. Arc was a successful game. It doesn't float my boat, right? But I recognize the significance of this. Any thoughts on Arc 2 actually being an exclusive game on Xbox? And is that something that they probably paid for? Is that something maybe because they went in preview last time on Xbox and it kind of fits their release style? Do y'all, anybody have any thoughts on that?
I was hoping it was a new Riddick game.
Me too.
That's my only thought. I was hoping for a new Riddick.
Anybody here play Arc?
I haven't played
Little bit,
Arc.
when it was in its infancy.
It was
Yeah.
weird. when I first
Was.
saw it, I'm like, what is this? In terms of the exclusivity, it does remind me, or it should remind people that when Phil is talking about the exclusivity, that doesn't. He's basically referring to it going to PC and going to mobile, and people think that that Bethesda going to other platforms and all this different stuff. I do think this might be timed, because if it's anything like the first one, I believe the first one was sort of timed, but I think it's weird. It was a weird announcement.
Yeah.
But I really like that animation. That animation, the 2D, not the 3. The animation thing.
Oh,
afterwards,
the actual
I
show
thought
they
that-
announced that has a lot of really big time actors in it. Like Russell Crowe's in
Yeah.
that thing, and that was pretty crazy.
They got Elliot Page and all these awesome other actors and actresses. So I'm looking forward to that. To big announcement for a lot of Arc fans for sure. Like I've seen a lot of Arc people go crazy announcement, but yeah, I don't know. I got to see what this game is about.
Yeah, so I tried playing it when it was first kind of come on Xbox, and it was in preview mode. You know, is in preview, and it was just kind of like I don't know what to do, so I just stopped playing it. Right, but there's like a hardcore fan base for this game, that are pretty dedicated. So I just found it interesting. I don't know why it's exclusive on Xbox. I don't know if that's a deal they set up. Or if it's maybe just fits the developer what they're trying to do, you know. So we'll just move past that one quickly because it's getting late. We got to get some gaming in tonight. So we got one more thing that we do.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, and you're hungry. I know. I'm hungry too. We haven't eaten yet. Every week we end this show with our Game Pass Game of the Week. And this week I picked a game that Lupa's been playing. She tried to help me because I am bad at puzzle games. But this game came to Game Pass day one. It is really fun to play. It's actually a really pretty art style. It's really smart game. It's a good game. I want anybody to try it that likes puzzle games, that likes adventure games. And that game is Call of the Sea. So, have you played Call of the Sea 3-bit? Do you have any thoughts on it?
I have. It is a great game. It's a great game. I'm really enjoying what I've played so far. When I first saw the trailer, I got the BioShock vibes, but as I'm playing it's becoming its own. It's like I don't know, I'm feeling it. The puzzles are really fun, and it is also my Game Pass game of the week, I would say. Either that or Control. So everybody should go play it, experience it for yourself. It's like a first person puzzle adventure type game. Yeah,
It's not
very
easy.
good. Beautiful. It is not easy. Graphics are beautiful. Check it out.
Have you checked this game out, Wilmy? Wilmy's away.
Oh no, I'm here. I did. Because normally I'm into puzzle games. I got to chapter 3 of this one and just called it. I don't know. It just, some of the puzzles were overly long and complicated for the type of game it is.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. If you're stranded on an island, who the hell's gonna set all that shit up? Come on.
That's true. There was a lot of stuff on that
If
island.
if I'm stranded on an island, my wife's trying to find me, I'm going to leave her a little, an easier way of trying to find me. I'm not going to set up a puzzle that takes 2 hours for her to solve.
Just leave her a note.
Yeah, but some of the puzzles I just thought just really, some of them are just so long and so complicated to try to figure out. And when I got to the 3rd chapter, where the ship is, and I started doing a couple of those, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, the one on the mountain.
All this is really needed and necessary to just go forward. And I was like, yeah, I got other games to play, so I deleted it.
So yeah, for me, like, it's like I gotta figure this out now. Like I'm about the same place that you stopped, and Lupa saw me on stream, so I was having a hard time figuring this out. What are your thoughts, Lupa?
Well, I'm a puzzle fanatic, so I really love it. The puzzles are very difficult, even for me. I work some of the stuff out. I'm really interested to see the ending because I've got an idea in my head, but I might be completely wrong. But I'm interested to see the ending. But yeah,
well, I'm pretty sure if you die, you got to solve a puzzle to show your death first.
it is a difficult puzzle game. That makes it challenging to me. And like Mav, I've just got to do it now. It cannot beat me. I won't have it beat me.
Yeah. It's got that for me, it's got that quality to where it seems impossible, or like, what the heck are they going, where are they going with this? But it seems, it's like I want to make myself feel smart, so I need to complete it, so that way I can say I did it, right? Yeah, it's kind of got that to me right now. And the puzzle I'm working on now is freaking really hard. I will say this, I've learned this about this game. If you don't think you can solve the puzzle, you're having trouble. From what I've learned in this, it's probably because you haven't found something yet. So, in the notepads that you have in this game, the book, they fill up. The notepad fills up when you find everything you're supposed to find. So if there's blank pages there with the puzzle you're working on, you probably need to keep searching. And there may be something laying on the ground, or something that you didn't notice before that you need to look at in order to solve that puzzle. Because those puzzles are a little next level, right? It's not like a typical puzzle game. So that's what I like. That's kind of what I like about it. It is a little bit different, and it's not the same old puzzles that I'm used to solving in these kind of games, right? A lot of these kind of games have like, okay, you got to go here, turn this switch on, and go over here, and then hit that switch, and then, you kind of figure out the sequence. But this is like, it's got some different, interesting ideas with some of the stuff that they did. So if you got Game Pass, guys, you don't got to pay for it. If you don't know if you like puzzle games or adventure games, you can hear Lupa. She narrates this game. She actually plays the main character. You can recognize her voice. I'm kidding. No, it does sound just like you, Lupa. I don't know if you noticed that. And do you watch this game on stream? I think, babe, a little bit.
No, I didn't pay attention to it.
Well, that's a strong recommendation. Anybody else?
Game Pass of the week is Tetris.
That's a good one.
I picked up on it a lot more this week for some reason.
Can't do it.
Yeah, it's its favorite.
I have to say, Caitlin, I do like Tetris too.
It's so relaxing. Like, you don't think about anything else when you're playing it.
No, you put your headset on and you're locked in, and it's just the music takes you. It's so amazing.
Yeah, Tetris Effect Connected is probably like
opposite experience.
Oh, you don't like it at all?
It's because he sucks at it. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you just
I just
make a lot of mistakes, 3-bit?
Yeah. I can't win, and I hate losing. I love I'm a very competitive person in video games. Like, I love competitive games. I will get better at it. I just suck at it right now.
Well, you just need to play me. You'll get some wins. She's better than I am, for sure. But if you play the journey mode and get through the end of that, then you have worked your skills up to be able to compete better online. I'll say that. So go through the journey mode.
I'm straight into online.
And then hop online. So
okay,
that's my advice. I think that game is a great choice, babe. Because it's got that journey mode where it gives you a goal in single player to get through. It's satisfying, right? And then you also have co-op modes. You also have online multiplayer where you're competing against people, and it actually is competitive. So this is probably like the 10th different version of Tetris that I've played. Out of all the Tetris games I've played in my whole life, this is my favorite one.
I love them all. I've been playing them since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I love them all.
Well, look at Michael Garvey just making tons of suggestions in the chat. Yeah, Dragon Quest 11 also. That's a big time release for Game Pass.
Yeah, I think I was playing GTA when you were streaming that game.
Yeah, you were.
What's up, Midway? Hey, Paul. How are y'all doing? Thanks for stopping by.
The heist mode in GTA is really fun. The heist. I just never have anyone to play that with.
Hey, let's do it, man. I never really played GTA Online just because I didn't have any friends that were playing it. So.
Do they have that mode in the one I was playing?
No. She's a GTA 4 girl. We've talked about that a little bit last week. Was it? No, that was on your podcast, Wilmy, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. Her activities in GTA are legendary. So, all right, guys. Well, we all want to play some games or do whatever. I know Wilmy's going to get sucked into Cyberpunk. But we're probably all going to hop on to Master Chief Collection, whoever's willing to, in a little bit after I eat some food or get some food or order some food, whatever I'm going to do. So, hey, guys, come and hang out with us. We're going to be playing Master Chief Collection. We can fit a lot of people in that because we can have custom game modes. It'll be a fun time. If you want to see how much fun, just watch the video I have on my channel called One More, and you'll see what kind of fun we can have with this. But it's been real. We'll go around to do the outros. Wilmy, where can everybody find you, sir?
You can find me on the back of a milk carton on the back of your refrigerator. No, I'm just kidding. You can find me pretty much everywhere on Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, Epic, Switch, which I don't play very often because I don't really care for Nintendo. I just bought it because my wife wanted me to. But anyway, you can find me on WilmyHood on YouTube every Wednesday night with all the guys doing Gaming Beyond the Box. You can find me on Twitter unless you're one of the 55,000 people I have blocked. And you can find me on Facebook at WilmyHood and Instagram. That's about it.
Awesome. And you can find his YouTube channel and Twitter handle on the description below. Anybody. Also, Lupa, tell everybody where they can find you.
Playing games. And I'm at AssassinLupa on Twitter, but mainly Xbox Party. Jump in, play with me anytime you like. That's where I'll be, playing games. That's what I do best.
Oh, you always got to you're probably playing a game right now.
No, of course not, Mav. I'm totally enthralled.
All right, 3-bit, aka iPop Box. How can everybody find you, man?
You guys could follow me on Twitter. I'm trying to do the British accent on Twitter. the VGHD. On YouTube, you guys can follow me at the Video Games HD. Actually, and I do podcast and original videos. So go check it out. I got bad at towards the end.
You said when you said actually, that was pretty good. You want to do your British accent on your outro, babe?
I don't.
Oh, come on. She's
No.
she does an amazing one.
No.
All
Come
right,
and join us on Gaming Beyond the Box on Wednesday nights, and let's get all chitty chatty.
that sounds great. Sounds like a splendid old time.
It's probably better if I wasn't so damn southern, but you got the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where can anybody find you, babe? Not like I want them to.
Creep. You can find me on Twitter at CaitlinX0615 and here on Fridays with you.
Yes. And you can find me at YouTube, Fun Speculation, which you already are at, so that's stupid that I even said that. And also Twitter at Fun Speculation. And also, again, tonight, Master Chief Collection. Let's have some fun. I really appreciate all you guys in the chat hanging out. Thank you to my guest, and thank you, you, babe, for also updating all of my overlays and stuff again, because you're awesome. So
You're welcome.
Until next week, guys, have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Get ready.
Toodaloo.